Oh, hi guys, Paul here from PA Brew News. Over at the parents' house, and I cracked into my little cellar to pull out this, the Fuller's 2013 Vintage Ale from Chiswick Lane, London, England. 8.5% alcohol by volume. So that's fun. And yeah, I left my stuff over there. Hold on, because this is live. That's how we roll. Live and in charge. Sorry about that. Here we go. I had to find a good spot to actually do this in because the lighting down in the cellar, and it's pretty bright now. Fixed it. Okay, alright, just pouring nice orange caramel hue. It is real ale, bottle conditioned, so there will be a little bit of a sedimentation to this beer. Oh wow. Anyway, super clear. As I said, caramel orange hues down to this, a little darker here, obviously. A little pinky finger of head going on. Soft carbonation going through the glass. Alcohol legs definitely. Just watching the bubbles climb up the glass slowly. Very beautiful beer. And I went wah wah because you could smell it immediately. It's subtle hints of a soft peppery spice, subtle notes of that. There's tons of orange marmalade, baby, orange candy, orange marmalade, wildflower honey, caramel, hints of that toffee caramel coming up through that as well. No nuances of a vanilla butterscotchiness in a beautiful, savory, lovely way. That spiciness and that soft, dark raisins, a little bit of figginess is coming through with that alcohol, which is beautiful. Well, cheers to the 2013 vintage ale I'm using to cheer 2018. So this is my 2018 Happy New Year beer review live because, again, I had this at my parents' house. But here we go. Because every 5 years I like to drink one of these when it hits 5 years. So there we go. I have a 14 and 15. I need a 16 and 17. So keep your eyes open, guys, if you know any of my friends out there. Cheers. One more. It's very soft ale. It's a medium body, tapering to a low medium body. It clings around your palate though, really nicely. All these flavors. You got muted toffee, muted caramels. Those kind of tones kind of throughout the whole thing. The caramels. You get nuances of a little bit of floral, honey notes, as well as a little bit in the back end of that orange marmalade note. This one has a little bit more of a nutty background. Not very dry though, it's very savory. But there's a little bit more of that roast coming through with that burnt, like a burnt caramel tone, which is really interesting because it's playing off all those sweetnesses too. You're getting the softest bit of a raisin in that, but it's more of that ripe, juicy, I think it's juicy is not the word, but ripe, savory caramel that wildflower honey with that soft pepperiness of that wildflower honey, that spiciness rather, and just those soft, subtle qualities are just coming out in this ale. It's a medium body, but it leaves a nice thin little bit of oiliness on there. Cheers. Thanks, Kent. It's just a beautiful beer, and I always look forward to drinking it. And of course, we're going to have to do it with the sedimentation in as well, because that's how we roll. Now, with this one, I don't believe they used anything crazy. I mean, the Goldings, the Svelven, the Challenger, with their, fine estate, quality maltings, pretty much very similar out throughout the whole thing. Kent just mentioned about finding me the 17. If you can't, I know the 17 has a very experimental hop. It's an Americanized hop. They have a new head brewer. I can't remember her name, but it's a female head brewer. So, beer world changing. It actually does change now and again. But John Keening has stepped down, and the new woman is, Ken will probably just throw out the name and I'll just say it. But she found there's a different hop variety with the new one that's more juicy and why would you put that on something that you want to age? It's blowing my brain a little bit because I really don't know if it could stand up to that without becoming a hot mess. But maybe she likes hot messes. Serve that on a plate. Anyway, here we go. Again, cheers. Yeah. This lovely, rich caramel, fragrant wildflower honey. Lots of different things in that area. It's more on that savory side. I'm getting a little bit more of the figs and the raisin as it comes out more. You still have a little bit of that burnt caramel earthiness in the background too to kind of balance all that sweetness. But it's really nice. I think I got enough room here now. I can stir around and pop the rest in. I'm getting fucking old. Oh, that fucking gray hair. Oh, that was very classy. Classy Freddy Blathy, baby. Here we go. Okay. It is, again, there it is. I'm sorry, the light, it is kind of bright. A little overly bright. But there we go. And then, as you can see now, it is completely opaque. Cloudy. Still retains that orange caramel hue. And my hair is doing a weird thing. What are you doing? Okay. Very soft. This is beautiful. I love this. You pour this in, no chunks, no fish food, no pepper just floating around randomly or anything like that. Just a beautiful, perfect sedimentation. Some people just cannot get that right. So here it is. All right. So obviously now we have more of a breadiness, but that we all expected that. Coming up. It's actually not muting anything because there wasn't a lot of subtle tones as we have with other vintages that I've pulled out. This one is just, with all that caramel, toffee, wildflower honey, a little bit of that orange marmalade, that soft raisins and figs with a little bit of that back end of that burny, that charriness of the roast, that roasted caramel note. It's still all there, except it has a little bit more of that breadiness wrapping around the whole thing. So it'll definitely kick up the mouthfeel anyway. So cheers. Now I'm getting actually a little bit of a cloviness too in the background. A little bit of a spicy cloviness when I put all the sedimentation in there, which is really nice. I didn't expect that one. And I'm getting a little more star anise clove note with the yeast sedimentation in there, mixing with everything else, which is really cool. which just changed, made it a whole different beer for me, which is very interesting. And as expected, it's the high side of a medium body now. Very creamy. Mm. I enjoy looking forward to this every year, doing a Fuller's Vintage Ale. Ever since I did the 2009 years ago, I've looked forward to doing this and having one when they hit the 5-year birthday mark. So, wow. Look at the Lathan, baby. Look at the beautiful Lathan. Makes me want to go, ooh, ooh, like that. Excellent. So thank you, Craig. I think I have one person watching, which is Craig from Kent's Beer Reviews. So thank you. Cheers. It's not a bombastic beer. You have to understand those. They're subtle. They're nuancy. But they're so well made and delicious. It's something that you just have to experience. You know, when you age these things, they just boggle the imagination. I love it. I love it. So, I guess it's a rating time for me. That's what happens because it's into the almost 12-minute mark. Mm-hmm. Oh, look at that Lathan, baby. Beautiful. Anyway, yeah, we're going to round this one up with the sedimentation in it. I enjoyed them completely equally, so I'm not going to give one with sedimentation, one without. I'm just going to throw it right on the big old 9 out of 10. I've had, excuse me, I've had better vintages. I've had, like, the 9 still will be supreme for me. It's one of those kind of deals. I've had a 2000, I've had a 9, I've had other vintages. This one, I do enjoy it. It's not as complex as other ones have been at their 5-year mark, but I do find it very enjoyable that the sedimentation doesn't detract from this ale. Because of the lack of nuances and subtleties, the sedimentation actually brought its own little piece to this puzzle, and it's nice. And it didn't detract, it actually added to it in a certain way. But I like them both equally. And I love the fact that they know how to do a sedimentation without putting a bunch of chunks and crap in your beer. It mixed up completely beautiful. So anyway, this has been Paul from PABrewNews. I lost the viewer because they realized that I'm a shit reviewer. So hey, here we are. This has been Paul from PABrewNews. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. I'll see you guys later. Cheers. Happy 2018. Have a good one.